So there's a new gecko food company on the market, Sweet Reptiles, and they're hitting the ground running. What do we think on it? Where are we at on it? We're going to dig in right now. Hey guys, what's going on? Will here, Flawless Crested Geckos, coming to you guys with another video this week. And this is kind of a follow-up video. We started this some time ago. I want to say almost a year ago, probably 10 months ago, where we got in a bunch of the food and we wanted to actually see how the food was before we kind of push it. We definitely believe in the equal opportunity field as far as, hey, whoever has product is supply demand. You want to be able to challenge other big businesses and put product out there that you can stand behind. We're huge fans of anybody who are trying to do that and fill a void that they may see. This is another one of those things with Sweet Reptiles. Again, they're a Germany-based company, but they have U.S. distribution here with DNA Geckos, the homie Dallas. Really good buddy of ours. We didn't really know very much about this food before he informed us about it. And he was almost like a salesman, really, but he really is very proud of this product. They make several flavors. They have dragon fruit, they have banana, they have fruit punch, and watermelon. So they have those 4 flavors. They may have more flavors by now. Again, we've had this food now 10 months, but we wanted to make sure that we were going to be able to offer a fair kind of review on it. We're not really partial to any brand. We utilized, before I even received this, BP Zoological, Pangea, Repashy, which are all pretty much mainstream brands. I think all of them provide very sufficient and pretty good food. All of them give you a good food response. I think it depends on who you are talking to, whether they have a specific preference for one or the other. We've always utilized pretty much all 3 when we got into breeding at a larger level, and we haven't had any issues with any feed response or with any of our geckos. That being said, here we go with Sweet Reptiles. Now with Sweet Reptiles, we wanted to make sure we provided kind of a level playing field. So what we ended up doing, we didn't start kind of the review right away as soon as it came in. What we tried to do was make sure that we kind of, in our head anyway, offered a level playing field. So we waited till we had a bunch of hatchlings hatching out of the egg at the same time, and we wanted to start a specific group, a test group per se, on just Sweet Reptiles right out the gate. So we kind of isolated just this group. We only had 20 geckos in this group, in this area, that all hatched out. I believe it was at the end of August, right after my birthday, right after Daytona. So August 24 is when they hatched out, and they've been feeding on nothing but pretty much Sweet Reptiles, all 4 flavors throughout this entire time. We're running low on Sweet Reptiles now, but kind of a sneak peek at the result. We are definitely not against it. We are definitely a full supporter of Sweet Reptiles. We're definitely getting all the results from Sweet Reptiles that we were getting with our other foods. We don't see any significant difference between the development of the geckos. We don't see where Sweet Reptiles, let's say for instance, that there's a decrease in the development, or they grow slower. None of these are issues when it comes to the Sweet Reptiles food. As well as the feed response, we're finding the same consistency on them eating the food. Are you guys needing some assistance with your Crested Gecko breeding programs? Well, check out our Patreon. We've been running it here now for pretty much close to 2 years. Everyone's been extremely excited. We keep adding new perks every time you guys turn around. We give away Xanthics, we give away high whites, we give away lily whites. We actually upgraded this year to we're giving away over 12 geckos every single year. That averages out to at least a gecko a month, and we've been doing over that. So you are not going to want to miss becoming a part of the Flawless Crested Geckos Patreon family. There's 2 tiers. There's a $50 tier and there's a $100 tier. You get all your funds back in the form of Flawless Crested Gecko savings account. You can take advantage of having 5% additional off by being a Patreon member, as well as having year-round free shipping. You guys are not going to want to miss this, so go head over to patreon.com/Flawless Crested Gecko. When you put them in, you know, when we go to feed, when we get to the feeding the hatchlings and babies, it tends to be toward the end of the feeding day. And again, previously when we were feeding other brands, you will literally go and feed, and moments later you see them walking up to their food dishes and eating. Same thing is happening with Sweet Reptiles. More importantly, with Sweet Reptiles is the shelf life. I mean, 18 months is a long time as far as for shelf life, but that's really, really good considering they're knocking out all the preservatives that they're claiming that are not in their foods. Again, we are not scientists and we never claim to be. We are more of a lay kind of mindset, more of a hands-on mindset. And that's the practice that we follow up. We obviously are going to stay away from anything that's deemed to be dangerous to our little friends. But again, at the same time, this has so far been tried and true over in Germany, and they have a huge, huge backing, and we don't see any negatives thus far in using Sweet Reptiles. We really, really like it. So the test group started the end of August 24. In general, all of the geckos in the test group are literally low range at this point, I believe 11 grams, high range 14 grams, which is all within the normal size of that growth range in our facility. Now, we do have other geckos that were hatched out at that same time that was in the regular regime of things here at Flawless, and they are all ranging in the same size range. So there were none that grew faster off of one food brand versus growing slower off of another. That's a great thing. That means that they're a viable option to add to the repertoire to our feeding. I would add to see moving forward as we dig deeper into Sweet Reptiles, moving in the near future, we would inquire about bigger bags. Yes, we are a slightly bigger breeder. Therefore, we would like, you know, breeder size bags, you know, 4-pound bags, 5-pound bags, 10-pound bags. BP Zoological offers 11-pound bags, and we order 11-pound bags on a regular basis. And we love the bulk order because you're going to get the most bang for your buck. This is no knock to Sweet Reptiles, because again, you know, coming from Germany, we're going to have to take what we can get for some time being until you can kind of figure out all the customs, and bringing in bigger bags or bigger bottles is going to be bigger prices. Obviously bigger expense on their side. So I'm sure all of those things are going to get worked out. But right now, if you're looking for any of the Sweet Reptiles diet, you're going to want to hit up Dallas at DNA Geckos. He has a ton of it and he is pushing it super hard, and we see it as a great product to offer to your little Gecklers. So hopefully this message finds you guys doing exceptionally well, and we hope that this kind of follow-up review of a product that we put out as far as us having here months and months and months ago, and making sure that we don't kind of drop it by the wayside and we follow up on it. This is what this video is for. If you've been considering jumping over and grabbing some of the Sweet Reptiles food, I would say it would be a pretty good pickup. Pricing is very, very competitive comparative to the other competitors in the market. And again, the byproducts being kind of sifted out and dismissed out of this diet is really, really cool. So maybe you should go over there and venture over and get a little experience of the sweet reptiles. Anyway, it's Will, Flawless, Crested, Geckos, and we out.